What's going on, family? This is man AV Usher in the studio, man. We got another banger today. This lady says she's not letting her daughter go to Disney World because the child's father is not willing to take the other five siblings. I think she's wrong on here trying to control the narrative, but let's get into it.
So, my daughter's father tells me today that for spring break, he's taking our daughter, we have one daughter together, to Disneyland for 5 days. And I guess it was going to be a surprise, or it's going to be a surprise, or was, whatever. Um, so I'm like, awesome, I'm going to go shopping, get her a couple outfits, I'll get her a new bathing suit, da da da. I'm thinking about all these things, and then I'm thinking, wait, just her? Because she has 5 other siblings. So I had to ask him, you know, everybody else is invited too, right? And he looked at me like I was crazy and said, no, those aren't my kids. We were together for years. You were their stepfather. You're going to take your daughter to Disneyland and not take her siblings? Do you know how upset that would make them? Not doing it. She's not going unless her siblings can go. Period.
So let me say this. So she gonna hurt her daughter and not let her go to Disneyland with her father because the child's father is not willing to take the other kids, her other five siblings. Unfortunately, that's a you problem. You trying to control that man's pocket and trying to control that man. And in the meantime, you're gonna hurt your daughter by doing that stupid stuff because it's stupid. Unfortunately, yeah, y'all worked together for years, and he probably played a vital role in those other kids' lives. But when y'all broke up, hey, he broke up with them too. But he's taking his responsibility and running with it, and he probably saved enough money to take his daughter to Disney World over spring break. But you know how expensive Disney is. You're talking about right at $200 a ticket. I know some people gonna be like, "It's not that expensive." When I used to take my kids before they was adults, that mess was expensive back then. And we talked about a couple of years ago. And I was paying about 150, 125 to 150 per ticket to get them in. So I'm sure it went up a lot more then. So you talking about five of her siblings. So she got six kids. And you talking about $1,200 just to get in, not including food, not including hotel. So she's trying to dictate the scenario, but that's a you problem. You should force those other men to step up and take care of their kids. You know what I mean? You got one, yeah, you lost him or whatever happened between you and him, but that's not his responsibility to take care of those other kids, especially going to Disney World. Now, some men is good. Some men out here is good dudes. They're gonna be like, well, yeah, I can take the other kids, but they might have the resources like that. You don't know what your ex have. You know what I mean? You should be thankful that he's taking care of his kids. You know what I mean? He's taking care of his child, I should say. And not all men, man, want to take care of other men's kids. Let me say that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of women and women, forgive me for saying this. I know y'all gonna be all on the comments, but a lot of women find the now I'm hearing people call men simps for being good men. I don't know where that ignorant term come from, but being good men, and they're saying, "Well, I got a good one. I got a sucker. He gonna take care of. I can put pressure on him to take care of my other kids as well as his kid, and that way I ain't got to put no pressure on Pookie, Leon, and Ray Ray out there because I know they ain't gonna do nothing, and I don't want to fight them because I'm gonna go to court and pay all this money for a child support lawyer and they ain't gonna get nothing anyway. They'll rather go to jail before they pay child support. And you got some women looking at it like, but I got Craig over here. Craig is a good dude. He gonna take care of his kids. If I ask him to help me with his other kids, he'll do it. And that ain't right, man. That ain't right to your other. That ain't right to your child that you have with Craig. And I'm just calling him Craig. I don't know the man's name, but that ain't right to the good guy. You know what I mean? That's willing to step up and take care of his kids, put those other responsibilities on him, or try to. And then when he said no, like in this case here, he said, "No, I'm not taking those other kids." You know what I mean? For one, it's overly expensive. And when he was with you and helped raising those other kids, I'm sure that lit into his pocket. You know what I mean? Yes, y'all had one, but I guess you had five before that one, or you had something after that. I don't know. That's your situation, ma'am. But at the same time, you can't put your responsibility off on this gentleman here that want to do the right thing. You know what I mean, about his child. And then he might be seeing somebody else and they don't want to be bothered with your other five children. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Not everybody want to be bothered with other people's kids. So I think she's wrong in this situation here. And then she gonna say, "Well, I'm not letting her go. I'll fight your ass in court. I'll fight you in court. Now I'm going out to custody." You know what I mean? Because my child shouldn't be deprived because the other fathers or your means is not there to take your kids. That's a you problem. You should be saving up over the year to take your kids to Disney. If you, especially if you know I'm taking mine, you know what I mean. I ain't asking you to take mine, but you should take your other kids. So I would take you. I would take her to court. I would fight her for full custody, and we'll fight it out in court like that. You know what I mean? Because you ain't gonna hurt mine because you made some silly mistakes. And I don't like to call kids silly mistakes because the Bible say all kids is a blessing from the Elohim. But in this case right here, don't weaponize your child against the man um, just because he ain't willing to take the other kids. Those are your kids. You figure out a way to make them go. But let's hear it one more time before I close it out. And I might add a little more commentary, but we'll go from there. Let's hear it one more time.
So, my daughter's father tells me today that for spring break, he's taking our daughter, we have one daughter together, to Disneyland for 5 days. And
that's another thing for 5 days. You know how expensive that is? Just for 5 days. You're going to blow about 4 stacks. If you really want to have a good time on hotel, meals, tickets. Because you ain't just going to one park, I'm sure. They're going to go probably to the whole gamut at Cop Center, Animal Kingdom, Disney, and they're going to have to eat it. So it's going to get very expensive. There's no way, heck, I'd be taking other miles myself.
guess it was going to be a surprise, or it's going to be a surprise, or was, whatever. So I'm like, awesome, I'm going to go shopping, get her a couple outfits, I'll get her a new bathing suit, da-da-da. I'm thinking about all these things, and then I'm thinking, wait, just her? Because she has 5 other siblings. So I had to ask him, everybody else is invited too, right? And he looked at me like I was crazy and said, no, those aren't my kids.
Well, the man wasn't wrong. Those not his kids. It's not his responsibility. He helped you when he was with you, but that's not his responsibility, and especially financially responsibility, because it's gonna be really, really expensive.
We were together for years. You were their stepfather. You're gonna take your daughter to Disneyland and not take her siblings? Do you know how upset that would make them? Not doing it. She's not going unless her siblings can go. Period.
And that's when the fight will start. Not physically, but that's when the financially fight will start in court. The minute my child couldn't go, you know what I mean, I'm going to petition the courts. You know what I mean? There's no need to holler, scream, yell. I'm gonna ask you several times, hey, why she ain't going for real? Oh, this the road we're gonna go down? And then we're going to court for full custody. Now you're gonna be paying child support. So with that said, people, maybe y'all should, man, y'all know how I do it all the time. The link is in the description. If you want to look at the full video, if you want to click on her profile, her channel, everything's there. Also, like and subscribe this channel here, man. We greatly appreciate the support that we've been getting here. We're expanding. We're going to do a little bit more. So until next time, man, I greatly appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace and shalom.